Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm respect to Professor Haria Kunchara Wiralaga, MSI as the supervisor, and Mrs. Siti Fatimah Zahra, SAE, MA as the supervisor. I'm Dahlia Salsa Laila from Economic Education Study Program. I feel happy because I have reached this stage and stand before the ladies and gentlemen to present my seminar proposal entitled The Effect of Economic Growth and Inflation on the Minimum Wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Labor is a factor goods and service used to meet the needs of society. For that, the subscription is entitled to get income from the company in the form of wages. Wages according to Article 1 Paragraph 13 of Law Number 13 of 2003 concerning manpower states that wages are the right of works received from employers which are paid in accordance with a work agreement that has been determined between the two parties. Wages are an important indicator in improving the welfare of the workforce, laborers or employees of a company. In this case, the increase in economic growth is influenced by increase in the minimum wage. If wage increase, then market price also increase and vice versa. Wages can also affect inflation. With increasing wages, the opportunity to buy necessities increases so that inflation rises. Problem formulation. How do economic growth affect the West Java Province minimum wage in 2011 until 2020? Second, how does the inflation rate affect the West Java Province minimum wage in 2011 until 2020? What is the effect of economic growth and inflation on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020? Research objectives are: first, to find out and analyze the effect of economic growth on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Second, to find out and analyze the effect of the inflation rate on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Third, to find out and analyze the influence of economic growth and inflation on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Benefit of research are: for the author, it is hoped that the research result can add insight and knowledge about the effect of economic growth and inflation on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Second, for the community, it is hoped that the research result can provide factual information regarding the effect of economic growth and inflation on the minimum wage of West Java Province in 2011 until 2020. Theoretical benefit: as a means of information for students, especially the Faculty of Economics, who wish to conduct further the research of the effect of economic growth and inflation on the province minimum wage. Second, as a means of additional information for academics, as a reference for scientific interests related to the effect of economic growth and inflation on the province minimum wage. Third, as input for the government in making policies for planning economic growth, inflation, and the province minimum wage. Into Article 1 Paragraph 30 of Law Number 13 of 2003 on labor states that wages are the right of workers received from employers who are paid in accordance with the employment agreement that has been established between the two parties. The National Wage Book Council explained that wages are an acceptance of reward from employers to job recipients for work or service that have been and will be performed and function as a guarantee of life for the community and production. According Sadono Sukirno 2013, wages are referred to as payment to unskilled workers whose jobs are not permanent, such as agricultural work, carpenter, stonemason, and other skilled laborers. But according to Ruslan 2020, in economic theory, wages are payment for physical and mental service provided by workers to entrepreneurs, so that in economic theory doesn't distinguish between permanent and non-permanent works, that payment of the two works is still called wages. So, for the above understanding, it can be concluded that wages are a reward for service issued by the employer to the workforce with a work agreement that has been agreed between the two parties. Legal basic of minimum wage. First, determinant of the minimum wage is based on the needs for a decent living by taking into account productivity and economic growth. Second, the minimum wage as referred to in paragraph 1 is directed at the achievement of need for a decent living. Third, based on the need for a decent living, achievement as referred to in paragraph 2 is a comparison of the minimum wage to the need for a decent living value in the same period. For the achievement as referred to in paragraph 2, the government stipulates the state's achievement in the form of a roadmap for achievement for curtailing labor in intensive industrial companies and for other companies, taking into account the conditional of the capability of the business world. Next, minimum wage setting goals. First, to prevent wage from being below the purchasing power of workers. Second, to reduce the gap between the wages that don't match that paid by the employer, company, or industry. Third, the existence of minimum wage can increase the income of workers in the lowest position in the company. Next, can increase people purchasing power and economy. Wage theory. First, Malthus theory. Pastor Malthus is a classic school of thought that examines wage relations to population change. Malthus argues that population pressure will push the economy in a state where the workers are at minimum standard of living. Malthus reasoned that if wages were above substance, the population would increase. Second, David Ricardo's wage theory. The theory of wage is a long-term real wage that affect the minimum wage used to meet the needs of workers. Wages cannot be low under substance because work will not be able to work without subsistence. Third, Stuart Mill wage theory. According to Mill, the wage rate depends on the supply and demand for labor. With the increase in population, the wage rate will decrease because it is not proportional between the number of workers and the supply of labor. It is if the total wage fund is divided by the number of workers, it will produce an average wage for workers. The average wage will increase when the number of workers decrease. Next, Debye-Clark marginal product increase wage theory. In maximizing profit, every entrepreneur use factor of production so that work receive wage equal to the value at marginal factor of production. Next, efficient wage theory. In this case, if the company reduces the value of wage to make production cost efficiency, it will encourage a decrease in the productivity of works and company profit. Next factor affecting high and low wage. 1. Supply and demand. The demand for labor is small, causing the wage offered to tend to be high. Meanwhile, if the supply is low because they don't have the experts to work and the demand is high, it causes wage to tend to be low. Trade union. The high and low rate of wage depend on the bargaining of the union ability to pay by employer. There are demand for work if there is no ability to pay according to what is offered by works, wage will not necessarily increase. Productivity. If productivity increases, wage will tend to rise. Productivity changes due to the motivation of the workforce and change in technology. Cost of living. Living environment will affect the living need of the workforce. The government has a policy in issuing labor regulation so that it can affect the level of wage, such as in determining the provincial minimum wage. Theoretical foundation economic growth. According Sadono Sukirno 2011, the economy can increase growth if people's real income is greater than in the previous years. Next, according Soleh 2015, economic growth is an economic activity that causes goods and service produced by the community to increase. According to Budiono 2020, there are three important aspects of economic growth, among them process, output, and long-term. Economic growth theory. Classical economic growth theory consists of Adam Smith. Adam Smith is a classical economic with the title of his work An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. Adam Smith argued the country's output depends on land, skill, capital accumulation, and labor efficiency. The main cause of economic growth is the employed working population can run productive, and another cause is capital accumulation. To see high level of work population, capital accumulation must be high. The accumulation of capital for Smith is the basic condition of economic growth. Next, neoclassical economic growth theory. The neoclassical economic growth theory describes an economy with a single homogeneous output productive by two types of input, namely capital and labor. The new element of the neoclassical growth model are capital and technology change. Robert Martusolo argues the economic growth stems from the increase and development of factors that affect aggregate supply as well as by increasing technology progress and community skill are important factors in economic growth. Next, modern economic growth. Simon Kuznets views economic growth as a long-term increase in the capacity to supply diverse economic goods to its population. A capacity the growth based on technology and the institutional and ideological adjustment in demand. Factors affecting economic growth. First, human research, national research, science and technology, culture, and the last, capital research. Theoretical foundation. Inflation theory, demand pull inflation theory. Inflation occurs due to pressure on aggregate demand because production conditions have a result full employment. Demand pressure causes the economic output to increase, but this is accompanied by inflation, seen from the higher general prices level. Second, cost-plus inflation theory. Inflation occurs due to an increase in production costs, causing aggregate supply to decrease. The increase in production costs is due to the increase in the price of basic inputs such as the provincial minimum wage, and cause the production cost of industrial sector output good to become increasingly expensive, thereby reducing aggregate supply. If it is aggregate supply that decreases, inflation will be accompanied by a recession, so that amount of output becomes smaller. Next, demand supply inflation theory. Inflation occurs due to an increase in demand, which is cause an increase in prices and followed by increases in supply, so that prices rise higher. The interaction between supply and demand that pressure prices to increase is due to the explanation that the price level and wage level will increase, or because of the inertia in past inflation. Next, theory Keynes. According to Keynes theory, inflation can occur because people want to live beyond the limits of their economic capacity, causing public demand for goods to exceed the amount of goods available. For this condition, it will eventually lead to an inflation gap. Next, structural theory. According to the structural theory, there are several things that can cause inflation, including first, the supply of agriculture export in inelastic. Second, limited foreign exchange reserves as a result of export income that is smaller than important financing. The last, limited government spending. Bad effect of inflation tend to lower the standard of prosperity of a large section of society. The prospect of long-term economic development will exacerbate inflation. Inflation relations with provincial minimum wage. Inflation occurs due to an increase in production costs, causing aggregate supply to decrease. The increase in production costs is due to the increase in the price of basic inputs such as the provincial minimum wage, and causes the product cost in industrial sector output goods to become more expensive, thereby the reduction aggregate supply. Nindinovia entitled The Effect Economic Growth and Inflation on the Regional Minimum Wage in the Regency or City of Lampung Province in 2008 until 2011. Based on the research result, the economic growth variable has positive and significant effect with a coefficient of 2 on the regional minimum wage. When an area experience high economic growth, it will have an impact on setting the minimum wage, which is also increased. The inflation variable has a negative and significant effect with a negative coefficient of 9 on the regional minimum wage. Second, Andika Permata Putri with the title Analysis of the Effect of Economic Growth, Inflation, and Per Capita Income on Regional Minimum Wage in Regency or City in Central Java Province in 2020 until 2016. Simulation has an effect on the regional minimum wage in districts or city in the province of Central Java while partial economic growth variable don't have a significant effect on the regional minimum wage in district or city in Central Java province, while inflation and per capita income have a significant effect on regional minimum wage in district or cities in Central Java province. Next, Sayyidah and Muhammad Effendi with the title The Influence of Inflation, Economic Growth, and Decent Living Need on the Provincial Minimum Wage in South Kalimantan Province. The result of study first, inflation, economic growth, and the need for decent living simultaneously have a significant effect on wage provincial minimum in South Kalimantan Province during 2004 until 2018. Second, the result of this study also show that the need for the decent living is the most dominant factor influencing the provincial minimum wage in South Kalimantan Province. Research hypothesis. First, H1, economic growth has a positive and significant effect on the regional minimum and on the provincial minimum wage. H2, the inflation rate has a positive and significant effect on the provincial minimum wage. H3, economic growth and inflation rate have a significant effect on the provincial minimum wage. Research methods. Population and sample are time series for 10 years, 2011 until 2020. For data types and research, quantitative data with secondary data source. Method of collecting data, provincial minimum wage regulation policy and the Central Bureau of Statistics of West Java. Next, variable in identification and operational definition. Independent variable are economic growth as X1 and inflation or X2. Economic growth is an economic activity that causes goods and services produced by the community to increase. And for inflation is a general and continuous increase in prices over a certain period of time. Next, dependent variable is provincial minimum wage. Provincial minimum wage is the minimum wage that applies to all companies in a certain area. Method is panel data. Panel data is a combination of time series data and cross-section data. Tests are three. For the first large multiplier, it's model random effect or model common effect. If the probability value of f and t square alpha 5%, then the panel data regression the test use the common effects model. If the probability value of f and t square minus 5%, then the panel data regression test use random effect. And then for show that's method common effect or method fixed effect. If the probability value of f and t square high 5%, then the panel data regression test use the common effects model. And for if value of f and t square minus 5%, then the panel data regression test use fixed effect. And for Hausman method random effect or method fixed effect, if probability value of f and t square high 5%, then the data panel regression test use the random effect. And for probability value of v and t square minus 5% percent data panel regression test use the fixed effect. Last is data analysis method, hypothesis testing. The t-test is two-part t-test the regression relationship. The statistics t-test basically show how far the influence of an individual explanatory variable in expressing the variation of the dependent variable by using f-views. And then statistic f-test that show whether all the independent variable intended in the model have a joint effect on the dependent variables in using f-views. Determinant coefficient analysis is using to see how the ability of the independent variable can explain the dependent variable. Thank you for the opportunity. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.